Doctor, give me the news. I've got a bad case of needing to pay you lots of money out of pocket. We're talking about medical procedures, medical operations today, and this is the podcast, HowDoWeHuman, the podcast where we talk about all of the weird and uncomfortable micro moments in life. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Binning.
And MRI, I'm one of your hosts, Evan Cox.
Brilliant.
That was pretty
do we end it here?
It's over.
I think we peaked.
The whole podcast?
Yep.
We're done.
We're done. But just in case, just for safety, one more for safety, let's go ahead and ask Evan.
Okay.
Evan, how you doing?
You know, I'm tired, apparently. Yeehaw! I yawn like a donkey sometimes.
Uh-huh.
Or a cowboy. I don't know if
or Michael Jackson.
Or a yeehaw. Or Michael Jackson. Cowboy v. donkey v. Michael Jackson.
Who wins?
We lose.
Yes.
Michael Jackson probably wins.
You think Michael Jackson beats Cowboy in a fight?
I don't know if they're fighting. Are they fighting? He would dance. To be fair.
Sure, I guess you're right. It could have been a dance competition, and that's on me for assuming that Donkey v. Cowboy v. Michael Jackson was a fight. It could have been a dance competition, and you're right. Then Michael Jackson certainly blows him out of the water.
Here's where you're right, which I should have taken into consideration. Cowboy, that could be any cowboy. Mm-hmm. Get your biggest, toughest cowboy or your best dancing cowboy. Remember that little yodeling boy? That was a good dancing cowboy. Yodel boy. No, let's not do Yodel boy versus Michael Jackson. I know who loses in that scenario.
I think that's when the donkey wins.
Dark. But cowboy could be any cowboy. Donkey could be any donkey. There's only one Michael Jackson, and he's dead. I think regardless, this goes to cowboy or donkey, and it's probably cowboy. You're right. We figured it out. Yodel boy.
Used our deductive reasoning to solve that logic puzzle.
How old is Yodel boy now?
Yeah, is it Yodel man now? That's
is it Yodel man? Are you a Yodel man?
Ellen DeGeneres no longer around to follow up on these internet luminaries.
Yeah, Yodel boy. I will tell you how I'm doing. Mason Ramsey, that's your name. Born in 2006. Oh, he's a Yodel man now.
Yeah, 18, right?
See that
Did I do that math right?
I couldn't tell you. 2006, yeah, right? 18. That sounds right. Does it? Oh no, I'm back.
It does sound right.
It could sound right.
It could be, depending on what month of the year his birthday is. But he's basically around 18. Officially a Yodel man.
November 16th, 2006.
I really did not want it to be after June because
that's where the trouble comes in.
I guess he'd be 17.
Let us know how old Mason Ramsey is. Send us an email. HowDoWeHumanPod@gmail.com.
It really wasn't that hard to do it, but
I'm not gonna try.
I'm pretty sure 17 is the answer.
Okay, Yodel man.
We'll see if that comes up on our quizzle at the end of the
episode. So first, that.
Yeah.
First, Cowboy v. Michael Jackson v. Yodel boy. Second, how old is Yodel man? Third, update of Frontier.
Oh, yeah.
Like a couple of days before they were supposed to install everything, I got a text from them that's like, hey, we lied. We were wrong. And it's not at all ready in your area. Oops. Bye. And then like a week later, got an update that was like, we're rescheduling. We'll be there late July. So we'll see. I'm losing faith, Frontier.
Yeah.
Frontier Cowboys. They're on the old Frontier. Anyways.
They made you shed a couple Frontiers.
Oh, Shane? You made me shed a few Frontiers. Shane! Come back, Shane!
Topical.
Cowboys made me cry before. It's happened. Anyways, here's what I'm here to talk about.
Great.
I'll keep it brief because we've taken up too much time already.
Or keep it boxers.
Oh, boxer brief. I'm gonna keep it.
Keep it
tight.
commando. Okay.
And white. I gotta stop.
This is a different podcast.
This is a different podcast now. I was somewhere.
Do we think there's a racist podcast out there called Tight and White?
Yes. Yes, I do. I was sitting somewhere. That's where this story begins. I was not standing, but I was sitting somewhere. I think
it was a day like any other. Evan was sitting down.
That's how I spend a lot of time. I was sitting down, and my Goyle friend was like, "Oh no, there's like a millipede in the bathroom." I was like, "Oh man, I hate those things too."
You had time to count all the legs?
Yes. Well, she said centipede, but I think, because I've looked this up, millipedes are the small ones. Centipedes are fucking huge and terrifying. And I think most people in America don't experience centipedes. They're gross and scary. Millipedes are small and scary. They're all scary. Too many legs.
Too many.
Sorry.
We have some notes.
A millipede.
Cut some of these legs out. It's repetitive.
Yes. Fewer legs. It's cleaner. Oh, JT.
Yeah,
We gotta
it's gonna ruin the tour.
She asked me. She takes care of a lot of spiders for me because I hate those fuckers. I'll take care of a spider, but she's more willing to. Fine by me. I go in there.
So you're like, anything above 8 legs, you take care of.
That's my territory.
Okay, got
it. Mutant spiders doesn't count. I remember now. I was in bed. I had taken a shower, cleaned myself off, and was laying in bed doing something. But I was naked at the time, is the point. She asked me to take care of this millipede. We try not to out and out kill things when we don't have to. So I put a cup or put a thing under it. I was going to take it outside. So I put a towel around my waist because we got a little side door that it's like a little private. I mean, most people won't see, but there's the Airbnb house next to us. So I'm like, I'm not just going to walk out in the nude. So I put a towel on. I carry this millipede outside. I take the thing away from it, but it's now crawling on the glass. So I give the glass a shake, and as soon as I shake, my towel just drops. And so my towel drops. I am standing in the nude outside, and the millipede is still in the glass, and I like freeze because I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know if your brain ever shuts down when you panic like that.
Sure.
That's basically the whole story. I got that millipede out of there and then grabbed the towel and ran back inside. Uncomfortable moment. Hopefully no one saw.
Yeah, I mean, for your sake, obviously, I hope no one saw you. For the podcast's sake, kind of hope somebody.
You hope this comes back around to me?
Yeah, I hope when the Frontier people come back to install the
That's
internet.
why they canceled.
Yeah.
We're going to come back another day.
It's not that the internet's not ready for your area. It's that we're not ready to be around you. First, this guy takes an hour-long bath, and now he's standing outside naked.
Your signal's too strong.
None of us feel safe coming up to your house anymore.
Chris.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. This is going to be a pretty quick story because obviously, as you know, I have a lot to talk about related to the main topic.
That's right.
This will be a quick little story from one of our favorite places, the grocery
Ooh,
store.
we love it.
Um, I'm picking up a lot of soft foods
Mm,
because of my aforementioned dental issue, which we'll get even more into here in the main part of the episode. But
yeah.
stocking up on softer foods, and I'm like, you know what? I need more eggs so that I can have eggs
It's a
in the morning.
great one.
Um, the egg case is at the back of the store. It's on one of the end caps between the aisles
Sure.
facing the back of the store. And so they have
That's where my
also
eggs are too.
a little display of something in the middle of the aisle.
Okay.
And then there's a worker on the opposite side of that middle display stocking stuff in one of the meat uh, cases. Um, and so people can only get by right in front of the eggs.
Okay.
And I need eggs.
Yeah.
So I assess the situation and I, put my cart off to the side a little bit and then I open the case and then I'm still like I'm keeping it um tight as I get my eggs that are white and I'm trying to leave enough space if somebody's just walking by.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like the door is cracked open and I'm in there trying to get the eggs.
Clinging tight to your whiteys.
That's right. And then there's always somebody. And I thought of you when this happened because later this I don't know if the employees at this grocery store are just friendly or if it's a situation like you have had in the past where the workers just know you.
Mm-hmm.
They're just uh they see you all the time and they're like, I recognize this guy.
Yeah.
So this could have been the situation for this lady. But all I hear as I'm reaching for my eggs is just, excuse me, sorry. And then this older lady with a walker just kind of pushes her way in and closes the eggs case door on me so that she can get by. And then, later I see her on the store and she's like, oh, hey, how you doing? To like everybody that works there. This sucks.
Yeah. I'm imagining like the door completely closed on you, but I'm sure that's not how it went.
I mean, as closed as it could get with my full torso in there.
I don't like this. Leave Chris alone.
Exactly. Leave me alone.
Let him have his eggs.
It's always brutal because my wife and I disagree on how groceries should be purchased.
Oh no.
I'm an in the store person and she's a mobile pickup order
Right.
person.
Okay.
And it always sucks when a point goes into the mobile pickup order column.
Yeah.
You hate to see that score change.
Yeah. But you just can't trust getting a mobile order because they
Exactly.
don't. What I'm supposed to, every single item I'm going like, oh, if you don't have carrots, get me parsnips.
Right.
I'm not gonna do that, so they just make their own little fucking judgments.
Exactly.
Bastards.
Yeah, there was also this was the same trip. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get protein shakes,
Yeah.
so I get protein, and I don't
Good
have to
stuff.
like be chewing on hearty meats. I
Yeah.
can just be getting my protein in a soothing way for my sore teeth.
Yeah.
They've got the fucking protein shakes, Evan, in the little closed off aisles with the toothbrushes and the
Ugh.
deodorant and the soaps.
Yeah.
All that stuff is closed off. And that's another point in the mobile pickup order column.
Yeah.
And it's infuriating.
That's a big one. I hate that. And I really thought like across the board moving up here, that would be less of a thing. And I
Yeah.
can say it is less of a thing, but it's
Okay.
still a thing. And there are a lot of stores you go to that it's still just like a quarter of your items are locked, and I need to find one of the 3 employees working there. This is not what we're here to talk about, but
It's not.
it's a problem. Unlock thyself.
Yeah, it used to be where like I could at least just go in there, grab something and put it in my cart and then just keep shopping.
Yeah.
But recently they've changed it to where you have to pay for that one item with the cashier that's monitoring those 2 aisles, and then go pay for the rest of your stuff up front.
That's
This is some bullshit.
I mean, at a certain point, this is just what we're talking about. But
Yeah.
that is,
it is one of the topics we're perhaps most passionate about.
When you leave a major city like Los Angeles, a thing you do end up doing is you do just end up going to Walmart sometimes. And at Walmart, if it's a locked up item, they just take it with them. They go like, all right, we'll see you at the front. And you have to go to the front and tell them what you bought. So you have to go to the item, stand there, hit the button. No one comes for half an hour. Then they arrive. They take it away from you. And you have to tell the person at the front, I bought a 3-pack of Mach 3 razor blades and a bottle of whiskey. What kind? I don't know. You should know. You did this. I hate it. Anyways.
Yeah, that sucks. But unfortunately, that's not what we're here to talk about.
Unfortunately, no, it's not.
So, and for that, I will say, MRI, I'm sorry.
Hey.
We're back on track.
We're back.
The podcast peaked again.
Who said peak can only happen once? You ever seen a mountain range?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what this podcast
You can peak in high school and after.
Did I peak in high school? I don't think I did peak in high school. That was a valley for me.
Yeah, my valley definitely was middle school. I think
that's fair.
Compared to middle school, absolutely a peak in high school. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where or if I've peaked.
Yeah. At a certain point, we both had to stop peaking in high schools, and they won't let us do that anymore.
That's true. I will say the last month or so has been a real valley for me because we're here to talk about medical procedures. And baby, have I been having them, and we'll continue to have them for several more months.
That's right. You're here to talk about our other. It's been a valley for me. We're peaking again. Because you actually want to talk about teeth. One of my favorite topics.
That's true.
What's happening over there?
Well, as I think 2 episodes, maybe 3 episodes ago, I did mention that I broke a tooth, broke a molar. And so this past week, maybe 4 days ago at this point, they finally got it extracted. They sent Chris Hemsworth in there for the extraction and the extraction 2. And
good. Extraction tooth.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true.
It's real.
But they gave me the option.
Yeah.
Do you want to be much like, I want to say the Ramones and be sedated?
Yes.
Okay.
Much like the Ramones. Blitzkrieg Bop.
Yeah. We're going to do a real Blitzkrieg Bop in your mouth, and we want to know if you'd like to be sedated. And I said, yes, please.
We're going to play whack-a-mole in your mouth.
Do you fear anesthesia, or are you down for it?
I'm down to
because
clown.
I was like, no question about it.
Yeah.
Give me that anesthesia. Put me under. I don't want no part of this.
I am the
Much
same
like Tim
way.
Robinson's character in that shopping mall. I don't want to be around anymore.
I don't even want to
Put
be
me
around
under.
anymore. 100%. I agree with that. I told you. Here's a tough thing about this episode is we just like talked about all of this last week just between
Yep.
ourselves. So
Yes.
I've told a lot of my stories, and I've told almost all those stories on the podcast and other episodes. So I'm a little limited. But like I experienced it was my dental surgery was just the one impacted wisdom tooth, and the other three were coming out without anesthesia. They just numbed my mouth, and it's like you could feel it. It didn't hurt, but it's just like that. Like you just feel the pressure of something being pulled out of your gums. It's unpleasant. I hated that. I'm like, yeah, put me out every time. I will admit, I've gone under for two, unless I'm forgetting one, two situations. And both times it's like, it's uncomfortable. It's a weird feeling doing you think you're going to be strong enough to last the whole countdown 10 9, and it's like generally you're not going to make it past 8.
I don't even think when they did this tooth extraction, I don't even think they did a countdown for me. Like the last thing I remember is they're like, hey, we're just going to give you some stuff to relax you. And I was like, okay. And then I remember waking up at home. So
wait, you woke up at home?
Well, I mean, I didn't wake up at home,
okay.
But I am missing everything from from before that. And we'll talk about that in a little bit too. But I bring it up because I mentioned after the anesthesia, when I was talking to some coworkers about it, the reaction from almost everybody was like, oh yeah, but that's scary too, because what if they put you under and you don't wake up?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Want to put it that way.
Yeah, thanks.
But
for that confidence boost.
In my, hey, I understand anyone and everyone being afraid of dying. That is logical. But what a great way to go. Even if it's a tragic young death. If like right now, I'm 35 years old. If I went under anesthesia and just didn't wake up, great.
Pretty relaxing.
I guess we got that taken care of. A life well lived. I don't know. So yeah, in that sense, no, not a concern of mine. I'd be more like if we're talking teeth, like I wasn't concerned, but if they were cutting into me, like it was like when the other big, which I don't remember how much I've talked about my I'm sure I mentioned my colonoscopy, but before I got that, going to the emergency room just with this horrible pain in my side, thinking like, shit, did my appendix burst or something? And that whole time it's like, this is on the, if it is something, they're gonna have to like literally cut into me and do stuff, and that would be different being anesthetized. What a fun word to say. You don't get a lot of S to THs. Anesthetist. Anesthetist? What do they call that? Anesthesiologist.
Yeah, yes, correct.
Anyways, it would be a lot scarier to be, I mean, obviously you would want to be put under, but it would be a lot scarier being put under knowing like, well, they're about to go. There's the knife. That's a freaky thought. And also the fact that some people do wake up in the middle of surgeries, and what a horror show that would be. But you can't worry about these things. If it happens, sorry, bub. Yeah. So how'd that all go?
I mean, it went fine. The procedure was quick, as you can imagine. I mean, my appointment was at 8, and supposedly, they were wheeling me out at like 8:45. So pretty quick procedure.
All right.
I don't remember anything though until about 11:30. So I was technically conscious, but have no memory of waking up or talking to the people in the office, driving home, uh, getting home. None of that. I mean, I didn't drive. My wife drove me, but
Driving home.
yeah, I. But
Something
when they
happened in the
brought me
car. It got all
out,
fucked up.
yeah,
I don't remember.
probably a coincidence. But
Probably.
anyway,
Fucking bird or something.
but I guess they were like, giving me instructions about what to do now that the tooth is out, and what the next steps are going to be, and how to take care of the extraction wound and all that stuff.
Your hole.
And yeah, what to do with my hole, how to take care of it. And I was like way ahead of you. I know how to take care of holes. But they told me, they were trying to tell me stuff, and then I guess I was still kind of like, a little loopy.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they were frustrated with me, which like at least
that's on them.
Yeah, 100% that's on them. But yeah, my wife was like, yeah, they were really trying to like get your attention, and you just like, you're still out of it. It's like, well,
what are you supposed to
tell
do?
me that? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that is fair. That's a thing. I'd just be like, don't tell me that everyone was upset with me.
Right.
I don't remember. I don't need to know.
Yeah.
That's fun. Yeah, when I went through the dental surgery, they were strictly just talking to the person who drove me. They didn't bother.
Yeah, and that's what I feel like when I had my wisdom teeth pulled, because I also was under for that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they just talked to my mom, and they didn't like bother with me at all. But I do remember
Fair.
at least leaving after I got my wisdom teeth pulled, maybe because it was a longer procedure, and so maybe the timing of it worked out. I don't know. They did need to take my blood pressure though, as something to figure out to administer the right dose of anesthetic. And I guess also they were like, hey, he's got really high blood pressure.
Ooh.
But they're also like, but that's really common with people who are nervous. It's like, yeah, of course I'm nervous before a surgery. I know it's a minor thing that you do all the time, but like,
Yeah.
I don't get it done all the time.
This is the first.
So yeah, I'm going to have higher blood pressure. But now they got me worried about, do I actually have high blood pressure all the time?
Yeah.
Or is it because I was stressed about this fucking bullshit with my tooth?
And now every time you go to get it tested, you're going to be real nervous again. Like,
Exactly.
God, I hope this isn't high.
Yeah, exactly.
Go use one of those, Walgreens, CVS cuffs. You can just go in there and stick your arm in, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
I have great blood pressure. They always tell me that.
I do want to talk about a little bit about coming out of a surgery, or obviously in like dentist offices, and maybe doctors' offices too, but especially dentist's office, I feel like they just have music on all the time.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe doctors' offices not as much, but definitely like in the OR or whatever, the surgeons are always like, I have my special surgery music.
Yeah.
And so this is what I play. Have you ever had an experience where you come out of surgery and there's an interesting song playing?
Let the bodies hit the floor. No, because yeah, I don't remember really coming out of the dental surgery. I remember being wheeled out to the waiting room or whatever. So just whatever music was happening there. But the colonoscopy, which they put me under for, when you wake up in the farting room. So that I had the sweet music, magical fruit.
Mm.
The more you eat, the more you do. Beans. No, I have thoughts about music played in doctors' offices and that, but now I'm far too curious to know what was I listening to?
Well, so this is I set you up, Evan,
Oh,
because this is
fuck.
not something that really happened to me. Although that
This was a setup.
the
Talk about farts.
what you brought up farts all on your own.
You set me up, you bastard.
But I mean the dentist's office definitely plays a lot of like radio
Yes.
not even top 40 hits, but like the 80s, 90s, and today, which
Jack
is
FM.
Now 24 years encompassed in today.
Yes, today.
I was thinking about that today because there was some 80s music playing when I went for my follow-up appointment today. But like were people in the 80s listening to music from the 40s? Like I don't
Time is
listening
weird.
to 40-year-old music. I don't know.
I was just seeing someone talking about, and you see this all the time now because time is fucked, and especially COVID fucked us all up in the time spectrum. But someone saying like, Dazed and Confused was made in the 90s, and it was about the mid to late 70s, and it's like that. We are currently farther away from when Dazed and Confused was made than it was to the 70s. It's like, oh. Weird.
But I bring the whole thing up about music in the doctor's office or the OR because a listener responded to our Instagram story as we were fishing for stories. So at hand.heartnet says that they woke up after a minor procedure in the OR and they were blasting Lynyrd Skynyrd. Does not elaborate which song.
Ooh.
But I don't know which of their songs is what you want to hear.
I hope it was
Sweet Home Alabama or Freebird.
That smell. Yeah, interesting. Blasting. It feels like the outro of Freebird. Little guitar solo. Man, gonna need some more deets on that hand.
Yeah, the surgeons are doing it Kingsman style, where they're like flipping over the operating table and they're whipping out all their knives and stuff.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also was watching Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, and he played a clip from a Lithuanian doctor's office where like he's giving an interview in the middle of surgery for some reason.
Good time.
But also in the background, and I know it's not this. I'm sure that it's, Lithuanian music. And so I apologize for any insensitivities. But what my ears picked up first was the cantina music from Star Wars. And that is just such a specific song to have playing in the OR. Yeah, is there a song if you're, let's say Evan Cox is a surgeon.
Yeah.
What is the song you want playing in your operating room?
What kind of operations am I up to?
Oh, you want to tie it to the surgeries?
Maybe. Get a little cute with it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, my pick was probably going to be Weird Al's Like a Surgeon. So I suppose cuteness is encouraged, if not allowed.
Maybe like Don't Stop Me Now.
Yeah. Threatening to do more surgeries while you're while you're down here.
Time it out. You know when they're, you're doing the countdown and you're passing out right as it goes. I'm a sex machine ready to reload. And 6.
Yeah, I mean, you did in episode 2 of this podcast. You did say that "Dance" by Justice was your dancing song. Is that what you would want playing in the OR?
That song's too groovy for anesthetics. Anesthetics, yeah. I don't think anyone would fall asleep to it. We'd have a problem.
Oh, interesting.
And they'd be awake and dancing through the whole thing, and then I can't find their kidney.
Right. Yeah, that's true. In that episode I had mentioned that mine was Rasputin.
Yes.
I don't think that I would play Rasputin in the OR.
How about it cuts like a knife?
Yeah. How about the first cut is the deepest?
Ooh.
Would you?
Yeah. You could have a lot of fun. This does just bring me around to my general thought, though, is like being a kid growing up. And I know sometimes people say, that's just your little kid memory. But no, this is a genuine change. When you'd go to the doctor as a child, there would just be like, it's like waiting room music or just like peaceful music, shitty, smooth jazz, whatever, inoffensive nonsense music. And that like seemed like it sucked. I want to go back to that. I don't want to be in the waiting room listening to, I'm trying to come up with modern pop artists. I don't want to listening to Katy Perry. I don't need to listen to Charlie XCX.
Sabrina Carpenter.
Or Sabrina Carpenter before a procedure. I don't know, but people like it, so I'm on the outs.
Yeah, another thing I want to talk about related to these procedures is like, I don't know if you get like this, but I definitely have noticed since, even just when I get sick, this kind of happens, but like when recovering from an operation or if you have pain before the operation or whatever, even though this isn't true, my mind tells me this is how it's going to be forever. When I had COVID, my brain was like, this is how it's going to be forever now. When I had bleeding after the tooth extraction, my brain was like, you're just going to have to get used to bleeding forever now. Out of your mouth. Now. Yeah. And it really bums you out to trick yourself into thinking that you're just gonna live this miserable life from now on.
That feels like you could affect that, but I don't know. I don't know that I'd do that far. I know that feeling though when I was me with my thumb issue, and that's depressing as hell. I'm just like, that's it. My thumbs are doing so much better now.
2 thumbs up.
Rah, rah,
Oh my god. A current pop star reference.
I'm a little monster. Yes. The pop star from Joker de Folie.
That's the one.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Something else I want to talk about. We've talked about this a little bit, but because I was there today, I got to experience the strangeness of waiting rooms.
Love it.
The last 2 appointments I've had with the dentist have been like, I'm the first one there, or I'm the first one on the books. So I'm getting in pretty much right when I show up. This one was a little bit later, about an hour and a half after they had opened. And so I showed up at my appointment time and I waited about 45 minutes or so, which is fine. But it was a little discouraging when like person after person shows up after me and then they get called back there first.
Straight in.
And I know that my appointment because mine was just to they gave me a fake tooth to put in until they can
Which I think is
fully
cool.
do the implant. And so I basically have a denture but for one tooth.
Love it.
Um and so I knew that mine, they were just going to like adjust it and tweak it to better fit my gums. And so I knew my appointment was going to be fast, but I don't know, like, in dentist or doctor thought, if it's like, do you save the one you know is going to be easy
Yeah.
for later and get a couple tougher ones out of the way, or do you do that one first because it's going to be quick? I don't know, but waited in there, and so there were other people in there, and there was this mother and her two teenage daughters, and I felt like, even though it was two daughters instead of two sons, man, I felt like I was looking at myself, my brother, and our mom because she was taking shots at those kids pretty consistently.
Zing.
Yeah. You know, she one of the they had their appointment at the same time, so they called them both
Ooh,
back together, and
lucky.
then one of them was done faster and came out first, and the mom was like, you know, so what did they say? And the daughter was like, it was good. Um, and then the mom just kept pressing, and the daughter was like, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. And the mom gets so frustrated. It's like, well, is there anything you do know? And
Awful.
yeah, it was. They had several different exchanges like that. Um, and the waiting room is pretty quiet. There's no TV in this waiting room. It's me, one other person waiting, the arguing between the mom and the daughter, and you know, the four people at the front desk,
Yeah,
and we're all just sitting there just listening to it as
I hate it.
the daughter's like, "Oh, I made an appointment," and the mom was like, "What?" um, and I thought it was going to be like, "You made an appointment without consulting me," but that's not what it was. It was like, she was like, she said this, and I just like, the cringe that overtook my body when she was like, "Oh, welcome to adulthood. It's
uh,
so great to have you here with me."
ugh,
Oh my god.
ugh.
Yeah. So thoughts and prayers go out to those two daughters. But yeah, that's sort of the update that I have, having been in there today, uh, on medical procedures. You got any other procedures or stories you want to talk about?
I mean, like I said, all outside of the dental one, all of it's happened since we've been doing the podcast. So
Yeah.
we've talked through a lot of my getting the injection in my hand, and them checking if there was a baby in there, getting a sonogram of my thumb,
Yeah.
waking up in the
Did you have a
fart
little
room.
Thumbelina in there?
Yeah. My little friend. I do think when it comes to waiting rooms, though, there is like, no pun intended, unspoken contract. Let's all just talk, be quiet, or talk at a
Yes.
quiet level. And I
Yes.
do feel for parents with younger kids going to the doctor. Because, they're going to make noise, and you got to talk to your kids. If you don't talk to your kids, now you're the jerk.
Right.
Uh, but there's a level of that. And when you're pushing for loud conversation and the kids don't want to, fucking chill.
Yeah.
That's fine. Look at your phone. You're off the hook.
Exactly. Yeah. I do want to touch on something that I don't know if it's come up too much in our past episodes. I don't remember. But insurance. And
Yes.
insurance is kind of, this can be, you know, car insurance. This can be any type of insurance. This is just a little quick insurance tangent
Yes.
that I've already noticed. and kind of already knew, but now I'm experiencing a little bit more, is sometimes the insurance company who is there, um, and you pay them to cover certain things,
Yes.
can sometimes just decide they don't really want to cover it.
Yeah. Happens.
What are we doing? What are we doing, America?
We're doing a lot of. Here's the thing, and we're not going to be the first people to say that, like, the medical game in this country.
They
It's a
definitely
little
don't say that on the
off.
Tight and White podcast.
That's
I'll tell you that.
fair. That's fair. But I don't know. Like when I was younger, I remember getting my first radio job, and then working to everyone got fired, and I got a sudden promotion, and so it's like suddenly I can get medical insurance, and yeah, because I never had medical insurance when I worked at Walgreens. You didn't have to have it at the time, and I took that risk. And that's kind of where it's at. Is like you do take these risks, and even once I could get medical insurance, it was like I'll get the easiest one. I don't know, the one where I'm spending the least amount of money. But over all
Yeah.
these years, I've got a better handle on it, and it's just like
You got that handle.
I've got that handle. And you've got to pay more money to pay less money later. Or you could pay a little less money monthly and pay more money later. But it's a gamble. You're gambling against the insurance company. They're like, we bet you.
Yeah, the house always wins is the problem.
We bet you don't even need all this insurance. You're going to be, or no, vice versa. You have to bet on yourself and your health. And the older you get, the harder that is to have faith in. Because I used to be like, yeah, I'll just take the low monthly payment, and it'll be a super high deductible that I'll never hit, and whatever, that's fine. I just am insured, and it covers certain small things. But now it's like I really got to take into consideration, because that happened. I had half decent insurance, but when I mistook the minor colitis flare up for a kidney thing or an appendix thing, and went to the emergency room, and it was like that none of that was covered. And it's like, oh, I owe thousands of dollars for being incorrect and thinking I needed. They were like, I just said, like, it fucking hurts, and they're like, okay, you need an MRI, we'll take a look at this. You need to be put on a machine, the saline solution. We need to do this, we need to do that. And it's like, I don't have thousands of dollars. You'd be surprised to learn. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm not saying anything new, but it sucks. It's bad. I hate it.
It is bad.
But I love
my
insurance company.
It'll never change. Yeah, what if I really loved my insurance provider?
I'm in the mixed up world where my insurance provider is my doctor. I'm Kaiser people, and been interesting. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I really we're not saying anything new, but
let's say something new right now. Let's pledge to say a word that's never been said before. Fuck.
I mean, you definitely tried earlier with anesthetist or whatever you were trying to come up with instead of anesthesiologist.
I'm looking this up. I think anesthetist is a word. Okay. You ready for this? Quizzle pre-quiz.
I am ready for this. Yeah. And then I'll have one more question, and then we can start wrapping up and get to this quiz.
Anesthetist. Anesthetist is real. An anesthetist refers to a person who administers anesthetics during surgery and is usually a trained doctor. Anesthesiologist refers to a physician who specializes in the science of administering anesthetics and thus is necessarily a doctor. They're both doctors.
Yeah.
It is a thing.
You got me. It is a thing. Um, you got me.
Gotcha.
You win.
I know.
One final question for you, Evan.
Yeah.
Are you good
I'm
at
good.
the classic board game? I don't even know if you consider this a board game.
Operation.
Operation.
Damn. Operation is stressful.
Yeah.
I feel it's one of those games that I feel a weird confidence in, but when I think about it every time I've played it, it's like, no, it's hard. It's very hard. I think I'm better than some other people. I'm not the worst Operation player in the world, but no, I wouldn't. I don't know how good you are right now, and if we were to play, no, I don't think I would feel confident. Um, but I'd do it.
I would do it as well. We
Let's
should have
go.
a showdown, an
Operation
Operation
off.
Showdown. I feel like I've only really played Operation like once. It was not something that we had or played growing up.
Yeah, I never
I'm
had it
assuming
either.
because it's annoying to have the buzzer go
That
off,
makes
and
sense.
so I'm sure that my family was not
And
interested.
that's why you're not a
Um,
doctor.
That's why. That's why we had a bunch of movies that we watched,
Yeah.
and so that's why I wanted to get into the movie space. But if we had a bunch of iterations of the board game Operation,
If
I'd be a doctor now,
they'd shown
trying to
you
remove spare ribs.
the movie Dr. T and the Women, for instance.
Yeah,
Several watchings of Patch Adams, maybe.
exactly. I didn't watch Patch Adams until I was in my 20s.
What the fuck are we doing?
And I still haven't seen Dr. T and the Women.
Not even the women.
No.
That's a gear.
Topher Grace should edit like he did the Star Wars prequels. He should edit Dr. T and the Women, but cut out Dr. T. It should only be the women.
How about a mashup? Dr. Teeth and the women.
I like this.
Just replaced Richard Gere with Dr. Teeth.
With Dr. Teeth.
Of
Yeah.
Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem.
I liked it. There's
I
so
like
many
this.
there's so many this goes around every now and then where it's like, oh, what movie would you have the Muppets remake?
Yes.
But only
Yes.
one live action cast member can stay the same. What's the funniest? And to be clear, most of the answers are not very funny.
No.
But the idea of remaking a movie, but you only, instead of replacing all but one human, you replace only one human with one Muppet. I think that's a very interesting way to do that, a reversal on that game.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to.
Is there, by the way, any movie that you would do a Muppet remake with, but only
Man.
keep one human member of the cast?
How about no, that's not really gonna work. I was gonna say or actually there are some fun options. I was going to say 28 Days Later, and so Cillian Murphy's a Muppet, and then it's just a bunch of zombies and one Muppet. But then I remember, there's other people in that too. Is Brendan Gleeson in that, or is that the other guy?
I don't know. My answer would be, and has always been, This Is the End, with all Muppets except you keep Channing Tatum.
That's pretty good.
Right.
So I'm doing it backwards. So it's one person.
Well, yeah, because I feel like Dr. T and the Women you're not going to get better than Dr. Teeth and the Women.
Dr. Teeth and the Women is a classic.
I wonder, I've been messing around on my YouTube channel with just like mashup trailers to try and edit together. I wonder if I could pull off Dr. Teeth and the Women.
Yes.
Without using AI like a talentless hack.
Yeah.
Finding the footage and mashing them together with classic iMovie cuts back and forth. That's how I work on my YouTube channel.
That's the good stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, any
Anyway,
thoughts
should we start
on
wrapping up?
military operations?
Oh, yeah. Thoughts on military
SEAL
operations.
Team 6?
Yeah,
Mm,
I want to know about SEAL teams 1 through 5,
I know.
you know?
I know.
What were they up to?
You know, I
Where were they?
I told the story of SEAL Team 5 in a sketch.
That's true, you did.
Once.
Um I look, this is not interesting or funny at
Love
all,
it. Let's go.
but I do find the name SEAL Team a little silly.
SEAL Team's pretty good. Or?
It makes me think of SEALs.
Yeah. And a team of SEALs?
I'm in.
Sold.
Like, why are the soldiers in SEAL Team 6 not like balancing beach balls on their noses? Why are they instead infiltrating terrorist bases?
There's better uses for the money.
There's better uses of our time.
Yeah. Taxpayer dollars.
You know, I know Fox News gets very upset about our military not being masculine enough. I'm upset that our military is not animal enough.
Yeah. Animal.
We are not the same.
We are not the same.
Do you have any thoughts about military operations, Evan?
No.
Okay. You blindly support all of them?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. I'll put that in the description.
Yeah. I don't know in terms of wrapping things up. I mean, really, I haven't had, knock on fake wood, maybe real wood. I don't know. I haven't had any serious operations, any need for a serious operation, a thing needing to be removed and or replaced from my body. And it is a weird, freaky thought that it's likely going to happen to all of us at a certain point. We'll need a serious surgery. I would not be shocked to find I need a knee replacement at some point in my life. They're getting bad. So,
Yeah.
I guess we look forward to those stories.
Yeah, I definitely will. I don't know if you would feel this way or not, but I will say that before we were married, like several years before, my wife did have like a surgery that she had to have, and I am much better at being the like supporter than I am at being the patient.
Interesting.
I am much less a fan of being the one that needs the medical work done.
Is that true for me? I don't know. I don't know. I like that sympathy.
Yeah.
I do. I like being babied a little bit. Cut me open, Doc. Cut me open, Dr. Teeth.
Yeah, play my rib cage like a xylophone.
I mean, I guess that is what it is. Cut me open, Dr. Teeth. We never do say this because we're always asking you share stories like what Hannah Hartnett did. We still want to know that Leonard Skinner song, but we never say like, hey, maybe you didn't see that story, and maybe you are listening to this, and maybe now listening to us talk, now you have a story. Share that. It's not too late. We would love to talk about your medical history in next week's episode.
Yeah, send us your medical invoices.
We'll laugh.
Yeah, we'll share them on our screen. You can watch along on YouTube.
But yeah, never too late. And there's a lot of ways you can get out to us, reach out to us. This podcast is called HowDoWeHuman. It's great. We love it. And you do too, we'd like to think. And if you do, you can find us anywhere. If you want to hear more episodes, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and the rest. Leave us ratings, leave us reviews, tell us nice things, because we're nice boys. If you want to leave comments and ask us questions and stuff like that, we're on social media. You can get us there. If you are missing those stories, where are they? Let me tell you. First off, you can get them on Instagram. That's at HowDoWeHuman.com.
We got that handle. It's not it's not right.
Really bad.
I was so ready to say we got that handle. I just spit it out before I even listened to the words.
You can find
Let's try again.
You can find us on Instagram.
It's the same handle we've had the last 5 years, Evan. Let's try again.
Baby. You can find us on Instagram at HowDoWeHuman.
We got that handle.
Hey, you can find us on Facebook. That is at HowDoWeHuman.
We got that handle.
You can watch full episodes of this podcast. We do video now. We are on YouTube at HowDoWeHuman.
We got that handle.
You can leave us an email. I'm doing this out of order because I don't have the phone number up. You can leave us an email. Tell us stories, ask questions, etc. That is howdowehumanpod@gmail.com.
The best part of that handle is that it's an email.
And like I just teased, we've got a phone number. You can leave us voice messages and we'll play them on the podcast. That number is 323-657-9896.
Ring, ring. Oh, what's that? Oh, you got that handle too? Wow, Evan, they got the handle.
They got it?
They got it.
No, we got it.
Oh, I guess I should call him back. There's some confusion.
I don't think we have time. We got to take a quiz. But I will say, since I haphazardly threw it out there, if you're confused about any of that, you can find all of that at howdowehuman.com. Our socials are there. You can send us email. The phone number's there. Pictures of us. It's lovely. Get on it.
It's lovely. All right. It's time to continue our trivia battle.
Okay.
And I will, our recording schedule has been all out of whack given my medical procedures and operations.
Selfish vanity project.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure these are the scores.
Oh,
but combined with it being an amount of time that has passed, and also if you've at least tried to watch it on YouTube, I don't know if the other files are the same way. But our Ghosts part 2 episode just kind of stops, and it's for reasons unknown. I think that the episode's haunted.
It's spooky.
But so I couldn't double check what the current score is. So I believe the current score is Chris with 61 points, Evan with 54 points, and of course, former guest Dustin with 4 points.
That's right.
So we will see. We are playing to 100. So let's see what happens with these next 5 questions. Evan, how you feeling about your trivia odds today?
I'm feeling good today, Chris.
Fantastic.
The odds are ever in my favor. R.I.P. Donald Sutherland.
R.I.P. indeed. And what better way to honor him than with this question? What is the longest nerve in the human body? The vagus? The vagus? I don't know how to pronounce that. The sciatic? The femoral? Or the optic?
Interesting. Now, I've heard of sciatic, femoral, optic, vagus is new to me, but that is how people tell me I pronounce. I'm going to try to pronounce it right. Vegas.
Yes.
I've been mocked that I say vagus. Just saying. Sciatic, femoral, optic. The longest nerve. Oof. I'm down to 2. Part of that might be because I don't know what Vegas is outside of a really nice place where I like to gamble and see shows. Here's what I don't want to give you hints or tips if you don't know things, but I do kind of want to talk this out.
I'm between two, and part of why, like, I'm leaning towards one because I'm very confident that it at least. This is. I also don't want to give you too much to work with, but there's. I'll say right now I'm between optic and sciatic.
Okay. I'm going to say sciatic. But while optic is not my second choice, optic is the one, which that's very clear where that is.
Yeah.
That is the one that there's a part of me that's like, does that do some like weird shit, like wrap around the brain or something? Like, I feel like that is info I know that it's long, but I got to go sciatic. I feel like that runs across the back, and that's long.
Yeah, so the reason I'm between sciatic and optic, I'm leaning more towards optic.
It's good
And
optics.
my trepidation here is I don't know what sciatica is.
Mm.
And could that be the tipping point? I'm going to go optic, and the reason I'm going optic is it's the only one of these where I've heard the words optic nerve.
Mm.
I haven't heard femoral nerve, I
That's
haven't
fair.
heard sciatic nerve
Yeah.
or vagus nerve.
True.
So for that reason, I'm going with optic.
All right, sciatic for me.
Let's find out. It was sciatic.
Yeah.
Good job, Evan.
Yeah, I believe sciatic nerve runs down your spine. I could be
All I
full
knew
of
was that
shit.
sciatica was something that affected your whole body and was painful, but I didn't know what it was related to.
Where I was having trouble is for some reason that I know what happened. I was thinking of the femur. For a while, I was like, femoral artery, that runs down your leg. I was like, no, I think that's your neck, right? Because that's what they
I don't
slice
know, but the
in action
artery, of
movies.
course, famously is not a nerve, so I
That's
ruled it
also
out
true, but I
immediately.
have to assume they're related. At what speed? Let me start over. At what wind speed does a tropical storm become a hurricane? 61 miles per hour, 92 miles per hour, 74 miles per hour, or 100 miles per hour?
All
We must
right.
have learned this in Hurricane Heist.
That's true. Yeah, we did. Evan and I did watch the Hurricane Heist, and both kind of loved it, even though it's
Absolutely.
an absolutely garbage movie. We both walked away and were like, "I'm glad I watched
I
that."
couldn't stop watching it. But also, was it last year or maybe a year before? I think it was last year. LA was supposed to get a hurricane, and that was downgraded to a tropical storm. We can reverse engineer this. I don't
Oh
remember
yeah,
ever
that's
hearing
true.
numbers though. 100 is such a nice, convenient number, but that feels like a trick.
Yeah, I'm going with 61 miles per hour.
Hurricane.
I'm locking that in, and I'll explain my reason after you've chosen. I will say I'm not confident, but that is what I'm locking
I'm
in.
not confident either, but I'm going 74. I want to go 92, but I'm going to say 74. Let's go.
All right, let's find out.
Yay!
Evan on a roll today. That's two
I got to
correct.
go to Vegas.
I figured 61 was just a nice way to go like, okay, it's above 60. It's
Yeah,
one above 60,
that's
so
fair.
that's the correct answer.
That's a good.
But it was not the correct answer.
I did not think.
Question number 3. Which band recorded and released the song Cotton Eye Joe? George Thorogood, Stompin' Tom Connors, Ram Jam, or Rednecks with an X?
Yoda boy. Trick question. I know the answer to this question.
Okay, I don't. I have an answer.
And I know you're going to magically land on the right answer.
I don't know. I'm going with Stompin' Tom Connors. Okay. Is that wrong?
As far as I know, yes, it's Rednecks.
Okay. You are correct. You're 3 for 3, Evan.
Where'd you come from? Where did you go? Ooh, interesting. What is the .com in website addresses short for? Company, commodity, commercial, or common? I don't think I know this.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Seems like something everyone should know.
Yeah, I'm between two, but I don't know.
Because it's like we know net is network, org is organization, edu is education, and it just never kind of occurred to me. .com is where it all started. Would that be?
And we are taking
company?
this on a .io, so there's all sorts of
and
things going on here.
Recording
Actually,
this on a .fm.
Since that's true.
Hey.
Since we've been talking, I've decided I'm no longer between two.
Oh.
And I am instead between three.
No longer is that Galifianakis.
Have you ruled out any?
Not confidently. I have two I'm between.
Okay. I've ruled out commodity.
Okay.
And am mostly between company and commercial, but common's looking real good to me as well.
In between company and I'm thinking commodity, but it's just trying to remember back then. What was the vibe? What was the feel? What were we doing .coms for? And this, I don't know. I'm gonna say company. I'm just gonna do it. But my second
I'm gonna
guess
say commercial.
is commodity. Damn it!
Commercial was correct. I finally get a point today. What? Oh god, this is one of those questions where I know I've learned this, and I do not know the answer.
I feel good, but we'll see what happens.
What is the standard unit of kinetic energy? Newton, joule, ampere, or hertz?
Those kids out there smoking their jewels.
I'm between two.
If you had a family and they were all Gen Zers and they all shared their e-pens, would they be called the family jewels?
Yeah, they would.
I've got my answer that I feel I'd say 80% confident in.
I'm between the family jewels and Fig Newtons.
Okay.
But not confident. In fact, like, after I read the question and read the answers, Newton was the one that, like, stuck out to me. And yet, I think it's the only one that I don't think I've, like, heard of as used as a standard of kinetic energy, which is a problem.
You're gonna have to answer this one first.
I know. You know what? I have enough of a lead on you still.
Okay.
And I've gotten 1 point. I haven't been shut out of this match. I'm gonna get my hands on the family jewels.
Okay. Squeeze them tight.
What are you picking?
Newton. Damn it!
It was Jules.
That did that erase all my.
You still gained 1 point on
man.
me.
I was going so strong.
Yeah, and I finished strong.
Yeah.
So the score now is Chris with 63 points, Evan with 57 points.
And again, this is,
and of course, Dustin Chadwick 4 points.
Of course. All right. Progress.
MRI am still in the lead.
MRI am not.
MRI, okay, bye.
MRI, okay? No.
Bye.